Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here, coming at you. I've never said that before. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, coming at you from my bedroom. Yeah, it's good to see you all. It's good to see you, Torin. Thanks for joining me. For a second there, I thought I was gonna go solo, and then Torin swooped in and rescued the show. But I had stuff prepared. If
I'm glad I caught you in your bedroom.
Yes. Yeah. Good one. How's it going, Torrin? What's how's your day? How's your week? What's on your list?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy week for work, just trying to wrap things up before the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah, today was fairly icy, but I don't know, I just did a quick hike.
Oh,
And
seriously? Wow.
yeah, today, most of my time, with my wrist time, was with this guy here.
Yeah. That's a birch, right? Yep.
Yeah. There she is.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
So it was snowing a lot in the London area, right?
It was.
Yeah. Same here. So I'm surprised you went out on a hike. I just drove out to go get my kids some cannolis. That's about it.
Oh, cool. Do
Yeah.
you have like a cannoli place you go that's really good?
I do. I have a bakery that's super close to my house, and they make the best donuts and the best cannolis. So,
Oh, sweet.
yeah, my I have an ulcer in my tongue, and it's starting to bug me a lot now. I put some Orajel on it.
Mhm.
It's on my tongue and it's kind of rubbing against my teeth, and yeah, it's really bugging me right now. Which is why if you see me do this, it's just me preparing to speak. So apologies for that in advance. Just like
Did
that.
you have a good week?
Yeah. My week was super busy. Um, my some of my family came back from overseas. My parents did, and yeah, it was a really busy week. Didn't get much done, which leads into hey, look at that. We got Bobby here too.
Hey.
Bobby.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
All right.
Not bad.
I was gonna say that Watch Soup for tomorrow is canceled because I have not seen any YouTube videos this week. It's been such a disaster of a week in a good way. Just
Okay.
super busy. But yeah, how's it going with you, Bobby? How was your day? What's on your list and all that?
Uh, I'm doing good. It's been a busy week for me too, but
Yeah.
hopefully, I did get a new pen first of all.
Oh yes,
Oh, geez.
yes.
This is for
Mont
So it's a
Sanjay.
Blanc.
Mont Blanc?
This is my first
Yeah.
and only pen, I guess.
Oh man, look at
The
that. Oh, you
Oh,
froze on me. Oh, there you
oh.
go.
there
Is
you go.
that
Whoa.
precious metal nib?
Yeah, I think it's gold, white gold.
Yeah.
Arthur Conan Doyle. Um, I'm using it. It's fun to try to write down handwritten notes.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes with this is the magnifying glass. You can see that
Okay.
on the thing and
Oh, cool.
the subtle things. But anyway, and on my wrist, another one that's actually fun. I like to do this all the
Yeah.
time.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh yes.
Oh, Snoopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like Snoopy during the holidays, right?
Nope.
Yep.
Great
There he
choices,
goes.
man. What ink is in the pen?
So it's
Okay.
Azuri blue. I
Yeah.
guess this color ink.
Yeah.
I guess
I could
it's
tell from like the little creep on the nib.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
the ink color. So
Is that your
Beautiful.
handwriting? Because that is too neat for like a clinician.
I felt like I was a third or fifth grader or something when I used to, I used to learn how to use do cursive writing. So
Yeah.
that is my handwriting, but this is not how I write. And I wrote,
Well,
I
that's
do not
great.
know what I am doing purchasing a fountain pen. I
Yeah.
wrote that multiple times.
I feel like I'm gonna have to buy a fountain pen at some point just to fit in.
It's kind of like the worlds are colliding. So you guys in the chat that are still holding out, come on, you gotta get a pen too.
Yeah, you know what else I got pressured into buying? And where's yours, Sanjay?
So Torin, the pens are much cheaper.
Yeah, they are.
They
Yeah.
are a lot cheaper. Yeah,
So
which is a problem for me. Let's say hi to everyone in the chat before I guess I can do my wristwatch check, but hi now.
Yeah, do that.
My on my wrist is the Black Bay 58 Blue.
oh, nice.
Oh, nice strap.
Yeah, the Artem with the gray stitch.
Oh,
And it has that.
did you get the deployment clasp for it?
Yeah, they sent it to me. It's like that leaf spring clasp.
Oh.
It's held by spring force there, so there's no real what would you call it? Push button. It's just like this pressure, and once you go over this critical point, it holds it down. You gotta really yank on it for it to come apart, but really cool design. I think they call it like the Richard Mille deployant. So I don't know if Richard Mille does that. I'm guessing they do. But yeah, I really like this strap. But anyway, saying hi to everyone in the chat. We've got Chaz and Neff. Merry Christmas to you too, Chaz. Bill K, good to see you. Wilson is here. Nice Chazman. He says the thumbnail is a pen Chaz and I share now. Oh, there you go. Chaz mentioned that as well. It's a Leonardo Momento Zero Grande Pistone. That's actually the name. What's it? Leonardo Momento Zero Grande Pistone primary manipulation warm tones. Oh boy. Let's see. Andre Achieving Watch Collector, it's good to see you. Yeah, blame Marcus. I guess after my debacle at Watch Soup last week, you could blame me too. Good to see you, Sam. Justin, how's it going? Nilo, good to see you. Mes9, Merry Christmas to you too. Let's see. Calling the birch. Cowboy YQG is here. Ken Spear, Pale Horse. We got Kevin S. And guys, let us know what's on your wrist. Kevin S said, watch Oshin's video before he is canceled. Huh. I wonder what's going on there. I haven't seen it. Sanjay featuring Vol's pen in the latest review. Vol? Not sure what that means. Is that like a football team?
Yeah, Tennessee Volunteers. That's
okay.
Chaz's orange color.
Right. Yeah, Chaz says, "Oh, don't say that. Say only. Say first of many."
No, the 1 of 1. It's like an only pen, only watch, only pen.
But why?
I like ballpoint pens. I don't. This is just for one time at the house.
Okay.
And I like Sherlock Holmes. That's
yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm staring at like a shelf full of inks now that I have, thanks to my good friend Marcus.
I might experiment with ink though. That's where it's going to be.
Even cheaper than pens.
Is it cumbersome to swap out the ink or not?
Not really. You just clean out the pen, flush it out a couple of times, and then you can re-ink it. As long as if you get 99% of the ink out, you should be good.
Cool.
Some people would want to fully flush it out, get all the ink. So
the thing with I'm sorry, the chit chat. I'm just going to talk a little bit. Ben, the Mont Blanc I can't remove it fully, so I can only fill it by putting it in and doing the clockwise thing.
Right.
So to clean it out, I just put it in water
Yeah,
and just clean
you
it,
would put it in water, turn
and
it
then
clockwise to
clockwise,
fill
and
it, turn it
then
counterclockwise to
to
empty it,
extra.
fill it,
I see.
empty,
Okay.
empty,
Right.
and
Because
then use a
the ones
paper
I used to
towel.
use, my dad used to have was a piston one. You open
Right.
it up, pull it out, so that was easier too. Anyway, enough ink
Right.
stuff questions.
Yeah, it's the ones where you can disassemble fully are a lot more pleasant to clean. Um, the other ones are kind of a pain, but
Mhm.
just don't use high maintenance inks like ones that has flake in it and sparkle. I wouldn't
I
use
like
those.
the Irish green, or like it's this dark green ink
Yeah,
that Mont Blanc has. I was thinking of getting that too after I
yeah.
finish this ink here.
Oh,
Which my
you're
which
not
might
finishing
last a year.
that ink. That ink will last you years. That's a lot of ink.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at these inks. I've got like so many different blues and blacks and blue blacks, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. I know some I'm not gonna use because I like the other one better.
Yeah.
Maybe I should give them away. Uh,
Give them away on your like 4K
Yeah,
milestone.
exactly.
yeah,
Send
there
out
you go.
ink as your
Yeah, Pengineer wannabe. 4K giveaway. Scott Tarlow is asking how thick the Artem strap is. Wonder if you can get the leaf spring deployment for his alligator. It's not that thick. Here, let me go full screen. It's really not that thick. There's my finger for scale. I would say maybe 2 mil, 2 mil thick. I'm approximating. I do have my thing here. Let me. Oh, okay, 3 mil. So yeah, sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Galber YKG is wearing his Tudor Blackbeard Chrono tonight. Chad saying it's the longest pen name ever. But it's an amazing pen. It is an amazing pen. You're doing Italian accent, Fury Gold. I've been told I do a good Italian accent. Nilo, good to see you. 97 golden tuna, nice. Pens and spring bars next up, polishing cloths. You mean microfibers, Kevin. Blah blah blah. Good to see you. 12, 6, 6, 10 on the wrist. Very cool. That's a Submariner. I don't know what that is.
Got
But
it.
yeah. Neff said Oshin made a Christmas song that was about date. Oh, okay. I probably won't watch it then. Bobby, there are so many pen colors to collect, right up your alley. It really is. I find I'm doing Bobby's thing now. So I was gonna say, sorry guys, I'm gonna skip a bit on the chat, but last night I got to meet up with Marcus, and he gave me a whole bunch more inks to try out, like samples, and I got another pen off of him.
So he's your new dealer, eh?
He's my pen dealer, but it's such a really cool. I can reach it. So it's a cool, like a
Oh, cool.
golden yellow, like a mustardy. Um, yeah, it's a Sailor 1911L, and has a 21 karat gold nib. So
That's
really,
nice.
yeah, really cool color. I really like it. And it has a really cool nib. It's called a zoom nib, so it changes it how fine it is based on the angle you write in, which is incredible. Like it's so cool.
Do
We
you
should
use
nickname
fine nibs
Marcus
or medium
the
nibs or broad
kingpin.
nibs?
I use fine mostly. Fine to extra fine is what I prefer, but I do like having the option to have a broad nib or medium nib. And it's weird because each company that makes a nib will have their own criteria for fine or medium. So if you go Japanese, their fine nibs are super fine, and if you go Italian or German or something, it's their fine nibs are kind of like a Japanese medium. So it's weird. It's just like a, you know, anyone can call what they want what they want. So yeah. Hey, Amin's here. Good to see you, Amin. Um, and well, Money's here too. Um, my wife was an ink sheet behind maintenance too. Yeah, that's good. um, all right, I'm just gonna skip down, guys. Sorry if I missed anyone. Hey, I have my chalice here too, but my chalice is kind of a bronze, rose gold, and my pen does not match the chalice, unfortunately. It's underachieving watch collector's comment. um, 20 minutes in and not one watch was mentioned. We mentioned watches. Come on, Kevin. All right, let's get into watches.
Can I ask you a watch question?
Yeah, of
It's
course.
personal. Do
Sorry,
you still have your Alpinist?
I sure do. Thanks for asking.
All right.
I guess
Yeah.
we should make
I'm
sure.
asking
Yeah,
for
still
a
have your
friend.
Zenith too, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done a review on the Zenith. It has to be there. But yeah, I have the Alpinist. I haven't sold anything yet. Although, man, Marcus has two incredible pens that I really want, and I'm considering selling the Longines for that.
Oh boy.
It probably won't happen. I'll probably stick it out and then eventually buy those pens. But
That's the next step. Is you what do you do? I traded my Longines for a fountain pen. That's the next step in evolution of Sunshine.
the madness is real. But I don't know, guys. I know. I said last time that my pen enthusiasm is peaking. It really is peaking. Like I know it doesn't seem that way because last week every time I wanted to say watch, I said pen. Um, and it
And
seems
you're
like
having these clandestine meetings with Marcus, like
yeah,
in the middle of the night.
yeah, that too. Marcus, and I just want to say Marcus is so great. Like he's the nicest guy, and um,
Who's selling you watches?
yeah, and yeah, it's just really cool to meet him face to face. I hope I get to do that with all you guys one day. I know I have with you, Torn, but the guys in the chat, I got to see. I hope to see Amin, Bobby Legs, Colin. I mean, everyone. I just got to see everyone. Hopefully. Okay. So to the pen topic, Steve, Mr. Casio had a great idea because we were talking about Chaz's new watch, Zin 103. It's a Zin 103 variant, and it's a kind of a thick watch. It's got a dome sapphire crystal on the bottom and on the top, and we were talking about the thickness and how that might be a difficult thing to manage, but Chaz is good with that thickness. He's happy with it. And we were kind of thinking about how we are really overthinking, over obsessing about thickness. And if that is valid, if that is a valid concern, or if that is, a bit overblown. Because when we think of chronographs, we see the Valjoux 7750. Those watches are, at least 14 millimeters tall. I was gonna go through. I have like a moment in time where I can say where thickness started to matter to me, and I was gonna just go through that, see what you guys think about it. Um, I'm not sure if the pendulum is gonna swing back, and I'm gonna be okay with their thicker watches again, but we'll see how it goes. But for me personally, thickness of watches, the delineating point, the point where I said, okay, thickness is a big deal for me now, was this year. I think, yeah, it was this year, and it was when I got the Railmaster. So when I got the 1957 Railmaster, it competed directly with the SBGJ Grand Seiko SBGJ 201. So this was a high beat GMT, and it was 14 millimeters thick. And it's got that 44 GS case where the lugs kind of are short and stubby, so they
Yeah.
hang in the air, not over the wrist, but hang in the air. And I remember that was the first time a watch competed with that watch. For some reason, as an everyday wear, the 1957 Railmaster was competing with the Grand Seiko, and the 1957 Railmaster was so much thinner. I think it was around 12 millimeters thin, and it had, all the bells and whistles to make it feel even thinner. So that at that point, I started to feel like the Grand Seiko was super cumbersome to wear. I felt like, it was like way like towering on my wrist. Just after wearing the Railmaster for 2 weeks, I felt like that Grand Seiko was really letting me down in terms of thickness. And eventually it led me to sell that watch. And I was now that we're several months removed, many months removed, even. The funny thing is, the real master has gone too in that infamous incident. Um, so the weird thing though now is thinking about why that happened, how it could have been avoided. Thickness is a huge deal for me still to this day because of that. Um, and I was thinking one of the reasons was probably the bracelet. And Steve mentioned this in the Discord as well. The bracelet can counterbalance the watch. And so if it's really thick and it has like this thinner bracelet, the watch can be thick and top heavy because it's off the wrist so far. And so I think one of the reasons was that. One of the reasons, of course, obviously, is that my wrist is small. I have a 6.25 inch wrist. But the other reason was because it was top heavy on the bracelet and even on strap, because it's amplified when it comes to a strap. The watch felt more cumbersome and clumsy. So that would be probably one reason. Um, and you know, I I still can't get over something now that is over, say, 13, maybe even 12 millimeters. I'm thinking, I'm like double guessing, second guessing myself when I see that. Um, So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys have watches that are super thick? I know you probably do, Torin. I'm not so sure if you do. Oh, you kind of do with your Snoopy's kind of at that 13 and a half, I think, right? Bobby?
Yeah, I think my Snoopy is like 13.2 or something. I anything less than 14 millimeters is good for me.
Yeah.
I think 14 for me is a little too thick. I had an it depends on the material. I think, like you said, top heavy, but like I had an IWC Top Gun, which was 16 millimeters or 15 millimeters thick, but it was very light.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't less, it was less top heavy for me personally. But I
Right.
thickness for me is very important too.
Yeah. How about you, Torin? Does thickness
Yeah.
matter?
To me, it matters less. So, like, I've had watches like more like bigger dive watches and stuff that were like around 15 mil, and I think it's all how it wears. And I
Mhm.
think what I've learned is I think the case back and how it sits on the wrist makes a big difference in terms of like actually going to a Zin 103 is a really good example because I've had two Zin 103s. One was a sapphire sandwich and one was the acrylic. And the acrylic one had a closed case back and it sat fairly low on the wrist, like the weight of it. And it was a little bit thinner too.
Hmm.
But that just wore way better than the sapphire sandwich, which was like 16 mils thick, and the sapphire case back actually like stuck off the wrist about a mil or 2 mils, and you really noticed it when it was off the bracelet because you like you mentioned Sanjay, like it makes it really top heavy if you don't have like a bracelet balancing it out, but if you want to accessorize it with a strap or something, it was really cumbersome. So
Yeah.
for me, it's all like how low on the wrist the watch actually sits, I think, and how the case kind of breaks up, uh, you know, the overall height of the watch. Because like, a lot of like Seiko divers and stuff like that, like a Marine Master or a Tuna, they're pretty thick watches, but I think they wear quite comfortably, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. And one caveat or one exception to that rule for me was that 14 millimeter thick planned ocean that I had.
Yeah.
Um, that one wore super, like the weight was super low. The weight was right at the base of the wrist almost. Center of gravity felt like a moment of inertia. um, so because of that, I think that watch, even though it was 14 millimeters thick, it really didn't feel that. and I know I don't
Mhm.
have that watch anymore, and I do really miss it. Uh, it was a a casual, like an unwilling casualty, because I really wanted the El Primero, but yeah, that watch wore incredibly well. The bracelet was heavy enough to counterbalance it as well. So as a unit, like that watch was incredible. Um, so there are, I guess there are exceptions to that rule as well. I'm not sure if I'll ever be back to really liking thicker watches. I'm sure I will be okay with it eventually. I know Colin mentioned something a little later. He said, Colin, good to see you, by the way. He said he's okay with the thickness of the watch, but it must match the style of the watch. So that makes a lot of sense. Matching the style of a watch,
I think
say,
Panerai is an exception too, right? Because of that, it's thick, but
right?
it's like wide too, like 22, 24 millimeter lug length. I
Yeah,
think
Yeah, that's a good
it
point.
balances well.
Like
yeah,
you wouldn't want a dress watch that's like 14 mil thick, right? Because it just
no,
doesn't match the style.
yeah. That I actually did that once. There was a 14 mil thick dress watch. Um, I think I mentioned it last week. It was the SSA. I want to say three. No, I want to say 359, but I'm not so sure about that. It was the Fuyugashiki with a power reserve Seiko Presage, and man, it was really thick for a dress watch. It was. I don't know why I bought it. I even saw it in person before buying it. and
You've
still
never
bought
owned
it.
a Grand Seiko diver, right, Sanjay? Even though
I
you
have.
love Grand,
No,
you have
you
okay.
you'd
Yeah.
had
Was
the
that too thick for
31,
you?
right?
Aren't those very thick watches?
Yes and no.
Well,
I
again,
guess,
in that one, Grand Seiko does a really good job breaking up the mass, like with how they do the case and like. Also, I had the
yeah,
titanium one. I had the what was it, SBGA
231.
231 in
Yep.
titanium. It
Yep.
was really light and it wore really well.
Yeah. I'm just pulling up my spreadsheet here. Um, so that was 14 millimeters thick as well. The SPGA 231.
Yeah,
Does your spreadsheet have the thickness specs also?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the names of this,
so can you like
watches.
sort by thickness on your spreadsheet? I just want to see what the
Yeah,
thickest
yeah, yeah.
you've
That'd be
got.
nice.
yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
um, yeah.
This
So
is fun. What's your thinnest watch and what's your thickest watch? What's the mean? You know.
I think my thinnest is probably the SPGY 003.
But like
Um,
Tor, the question is like, would you prefer a thin watch or a thick watch? If you like, if you're comparing two watches that you're going to buy, you prefer the thinner watch, or do you look at other specs before you even go to thickness?
Yeah, it comes down to the specs and the style of the watch, really. Most of my watches are kind of in the Goldilocks range of between 11 to 13 millimeters, but I, I can definitely wear a watch that's thicker than 13. It doesn't bother me as long as it fits. And
Okay.
yeah.
I think for me, I think anything that's above 14 millimeters is just I feel it might turn me off. I think unless it's like you said, Tor, like it's titanium or some other lighter material, I think that might push me off from purchasing a watch.
How do you guys
I
feel about really tall domed crystals that like add a lot to the
no,
height?
I think the dome crystal part, that's a good point. I think it's just the case. The crystal itself, like what was it? The Moser Pioneer has a really big domed crystal, but
Mhm.
the thickness I would say is less than 13 millimeters if you don't include the crystal. So I would consider just the case, not the crystal. Crystal is okay for me.
Is your Speedy domed? Like, is the crystal pretty?
It's not as domed. It's flat most.
Okay.
oh,
I
really?
guess
Oh, that's a dome.
it's yeah, but it's not like you should see the Moser Pioneer. It's
Okay.
this is nothing compared to when I'm talking about domed. I'm talking about like
Like a bubble.
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. This is still domed, but it's not as
Right.
big as
Like a
compared
top
to
hat, right? Top hat
yeah
crystal.
exactly.
Yeah. Jumping in the chat real quick to catch up. Oil Money with another zinger. Sorry, Oil Money, for last week when we said you were third best. You're up there now.
Cornebile Master.
Omega good name pens too. Mont Blanc Ink Master Professional 1858. That's a good one. Um, let's see here. Um, Thickness is a major factor, says Neff. For me, I don't like thick watches. They just wear. I don't like thick watches. They just wear well. Don't wear well on him. Is what I think he means.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what for me. Thin watches are so comfortable. Where like when I wear the Reverso, I think it's like 8 millimeters. It's just it's like not wearing. Again, I don't. I know a lot of people like heft on their wrist.
yeah,
I think for me, I like less weight on the wrist. I just feel like it's just. I love the Grand Seiko spring because it's titanium. It's everything's just. I feel like I remember we were talking about last week. I guess was it the Your Terrific video of the three criteria, and he was trying to stress on weight of the watches.
wait, yeah,
And I think weight of the watch is very important. I think less weight and less thinner for me is probably ideal for me personally.
yeah, yeah,
But I wouldn't mind like a 13.5 millimeter or 14 millimeter thick diver, like that type of watch. Like Torn was mentioning, dress watch is definitely thinner, but a diver I'm still okay with, like a turtle or a tuna.
yeah. It's interesting because I guess there's like a point where a thicker watch, in essence, becomes thinner. Like practically speaking, or technically, I guess not really technically, but practically speaking, um, the watch becomes thinner. The lighter the watch feels because the spring that you have and the winter that I have is significantly thicker than the white birch that Torn has. And but to me, they were almost the same. Like they were very close. Like it does feel a bit thicker, but very close to the white birch. Definitely not the disparity in thickness that the white birch has over the winter. So titanium makes a difference.
Mhm.
Yeah, the weight makes a difference, I should say. Um, a few guys acknowledging the rail master's decease. um, Justin says, I don't focus too much on thickness or size. Got to put it on and judge the vibes. That's true. Um, I feel like knowing the spec and then seeing pictures with the watch helps us to acknowledge or approximate the feel on the wrist, especially if you can't do that. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I had this question about the Tudor Black Bay 58, the stainless, not the stainless, the sterling silver. That one gained a bit of thickness for the sapphire crystal case back, and I really wasn't sure because the Black Bay 58 is a really thin watch to begin with, but it has a slab side, so it presents itself slightly thicker. And adding that thickness, even though it's not like a thickness to the case side, it's a thickness in the bubble of the back. Um, it's kind of like a mental game that you're playing to kind of figure out if it really makes a difference or if this is a negligible difference, because that bubble is going to sink into your wrist if you're wearing it tight enough. And
It's but I think we talk about this for. I think the reason why the Black Blade 50 is so popular is compared to the predecessor, the Black Bay.
yeah,
It's so much thinner and better proportioned
yeah,
that it's so much. Even that hindrance you just mentioned is acceptable
yeah,
compared to the
yeah,
thick slab of the case thickness of the original.
yeah.
Not saying that a lot of people have it and enjoy it. I just felt like that was just not. They didn't even like decorate it. It was
No,
just like a big piece, and that just felt really uncomfortable for me.
yeah, it was imposing. Um, Interesting watch though, definitely. Good to see AZ Clayton. He says I sell every watch, excuses or not. Um,
Except the SPGY 003.
yeah, except the SB2 that's persevering. um, Cowboy YQG says thickness is only a big deal for me when wearing a long sleeve shirt with cuffs. I like to have the watch under the cuffs. Yeah. Um, Kevin also mentioned I should have gotten the titanium version of the High Beat GMT, whereas a bit better than the steel versions. Yeah. Um, I really should revisit that titanium um, titanium high beat GMT Because considering it's that much lighter, maybe that negates that whole top heaviness that I was having with the SBGJ 201. You never know. We already talked about Colin's comment there. Let's see. Wilson says he has a few thick watches, doesn't bother me. You also have a huge wrist, Wilson. So. um, Kevin says it don't need to be thick for Sanjay to sell. It's funny. Chad's also mentioning Toron has owned the 103 non-limited edition. Yeah.
Yep.
Jumping down here. Wayman, good to see you. He says he's interested in the SBGJ 249. It's 14 millimeters thick, but it wears really well. It doesn't seem thick when I try it on. SBGJ 249. I'll have to look that up super quick. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the
GMT as well. Or?
Yeah. That's a high beat GMT, but it has the SBGM 221 case. So the cream dial Grand Seiko that's really popular. That case, because it has the rounded
I like
sides,
it.
Yeah, it wears a lot thinner than the 14 millimeters would suggest, like a lot thinner. I'd even say it wears like a 12.5 millimeter watch. It's incredible what Grand Seiko did there. Sorry, click that again. Scott Charles says the Santos has ruined everything for me. It's 8.9 millimeters thick and it's so light. Yeah, that's a rough place to be. Or, well, not really, but
It's so nice to have a watch with a bracelet that's thin. Like
yeah.
Santos is probably one of the best examples of that.
Paul, good to see you, sir. He says my SBGX 343 is 11.7 millimeters thick, but because of the bezel and depth, it feels thicker. Yeah. Kevin says I have Seiko Panda Chrono SRQ 029 and it's thick, but I really like the watch and it wears really well. Short lugs and crystals also highly domed. Yeah. Let's jump down again, guys. Sorry if I missed anything. Oh, okay. Colin says he has an app to store all the information. That's cool. Let me know. I mean, I've kind of put a lot of work into this, so it doesn't help me anymore. But
I would love your template if you could.
You should ask Colin what the app memory is because you're and the amount of watches you sell, like the data probably.
Yeah.
What's the storage?
Wilson was asking Colin what the app was. Apparently, the app is Watch E. Watch E. Cool. I'll have to look that up.
That's a
Bongo.
interesting one.
Yeah.
Watch. I never heard of it.
Me neither. Bongo Nutty, good to see you. Manual wound watches are thinner and generally more accurate for the money than automatic. Also more durable, generally speaking. I do like manual wound. All the money. Apps to store spreadsheet data, engineer nerd talk. Deep in the spreadsheets. All right, skipping down again. Hey, look at that. We got Clayton here too. Clayton from the Watchdog podcast. Good to see you, sir. He asked us if I've called a watch a pin yet. Nope. I'm in my right mind today, so I have not done that. Let's talk about fountain pen thickness. Yeah.
Actually, we talked about that before we talked about the watch thickness, right?
Yeah, we did. Did we talk about thickness?
Did we talk about nib?
Yeah.
The nib thickness, right? Or whatever.
Yeah. Fine, broad.
We did actually, yeah.
Yeah. Kevin, yes, I was able to confirm that. It's not noticeable. When I did finally get to try on the sterling silver Black Bay 58. Yeah. I agree with you. What do you mean you missed 25 minutes of pen talk? He was spared. That's funny. All right, I skipped right down, guys. I'm sorry about that. But
There's a question before that. There's a what is more of a turn off, case thickness or bracelet taper for
oh, oh,
for
that's
bracelet
tough because it depends on the bracelet width or the lug width opening. So if it's like a 19 mil lug width opening and shorter, smaller, so 18 to 19, I don't care if it tapers or not. So um, if it's 20 and it goes straight down, that bugs me. For some reason, 1 millimeter makes the world of difference. And if at the bottom of my wrist it's 20, it's too much. But if it's 19, it's okay. If it's 18, it's perfect.
Does that bother you more than thickness? That's the question.
Oof. No, no. I'd say thickness would bother me more because I go strap most of the time
I was
anyway.
gonna say you change this bracelet to strap.
Yeah, even though
Okay.
I obsess over the bracelet for quite some time, generally speaking, I prefer straps. So yeah, thickness is more important. How about you guys?
I kind of wish that the white birch tapered to 18 because it's like it's
Yeah,
22 wide, but then it only goes to 20.
yeah,
I
Like it
see.
could taper a little bit more.
it could. Yeah,
Do you know what the because I was just the speedy bracelet. It's
yeah.
a good taper. It's a is it 16 right bottom? I think
I
it's
think
Yeah.
16 right.
it's 15. Isn't it?
15 right. It's
Yeah,
very thin. It's
yeah,
pretty good taper for the modern bracelet.
yeah.
I like
Yeah, it
this.
looks good.
I think for me thickness bothers me more than the taper. I'm okay
Mhm.
with
Me
not
too.
even a non-tapering bracelet for as long as it's not even 20 is okay for me. So usually bracelets are. I was surprised. I didn't know it was 22. The white birch torn. The
Yeah, it was surprising because it's only a 40 millimeter watch, but it's a 22 millimeter lug opening, so it kind of sits wide on the wrist. Like, but it does balance it pretty well though.
Yeah.
but I wouldn't
Um,
expect a 22 on a 40, right? Like
Right, I wouldn't
I
either.
usually
But
22 on a 44 or 42, but 40. It just
I find it's weird how Grand Seiko just like judges the lug opening because it's never what I want.
yes,
It's always like
they haven't nailed
980.
that. Yeah, your raps are right. That the
Yeah,
yeah.
doesn't have the 40 and 20. I guess the ideal or
like would it kill them to make 20 milli? Like, I don't understand.
how
Can
do you like the
you
bracelet of the white birch? Torn like besides the non like the tapering aspect, everything else compared because it's the most recent
can you
bracelet,
hold
right?
it up,
It's
Tom?
yeah, it's well, let me so I
Yeah.
like it a lot because it also the clasp when you close it up, there is no gap,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I find the bracelet is I don't necessarily like the side, like it's kind of slab sided compared to like a lot of the Grand Seiko bracelets have like rounded bevels and stuff on it, so it feels more substantial, but it does balance out the head of the watch pretty well. So on a whole, I like the bracelet. I just wish the clasp had some micro adjust.
I see.
Yeah.
They still have some like it's not only the dimensions; it's a couple of the they still have rooms to improve on their bracelet. You have do you is your winter on a bracelet, Sanjay?
It's not.
Okay.
Well, I just got the bracelet out though. This is what's cool about where I am right now. I can just grab everything. But um, here's the
Yeah, it's protruding out.
gap there on this guy. It's pretty
Yeah, at
bad.
least they that for the white birch.
Yeah. So that gap does bug me a lot. um, it's unfortunate, but I do like how I mean how light this is. Um,
Hmm.
it just feels incredible. Like the warmth of the metal is really nice too for me. I just like that. Um, but yeah, they definitely improved that when it came to the white birch, like significantly. Um, moving on, let's see. Colin said the app has compression for people with longitude volume. I think you mean Torrent's volume. Torrent. Uh, Justin says the real question is when will Sanjay sell his first pen? I I don't know. I don't feel like you can sell a pen. It's
Interesting.
it's kind of like selling earphones. Wow, it just feels wrong, you know? Like
But
earbuds.
you're buying them. Are wait, when you buy them from Marcus or other people, are they brand new or are they used?
No, they're used, but it's Marcus, you know. Like if it's from any of you guys, I'd buy your earbuds and stuff like that if I had to. It's like family, right? Um, but you know, selling it to someone you
I
don't
got this
know,
sweet Papermate pen.
yeah, mark it up 300%.
Yeah,
Buy it for $9.
$10.
You just need to find a pen AD now, right, Sanjay? To
Yeah,
trade in your pens. That'd be the ultimate.
I don't, I don't, I don't think it works like that. It's so weird. Um, I mean, it could just be me. I know a lot of people flip pens just like they flip watches, and they climb up the ladder just like like we do here with watches. But I feel like I couldn't do that. Um, but man, I keep acquiring those, so I'm sure
I
this
mean,
is
maybe
gonna.
one day you can sell me a pen so I can get into it, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
down the road. Yeah.
I could do that for sure. Um, it'll be Marcus, and then Sanjay, and then Torrent. Staying in the family.
Yeah.
Um, Kevin mentions that I dislike a taper that's too dramatic as opposed to non-tapering.
Well,
Yeah, I've heard
actually,
like the new Explorer that you like so much. It's a 19 millimeter lug opening, and it tapers down to like what 15. I think that's too dramatic.
I think it was 14, wasn't it?
14. Holy crap! Yeah.
Yeah, it's really small. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Bobby? Yeah, you're muted, by the way.
I feel like the AP Royal Oak
Yeah.
bracelet also tapers pretty dramatically. So, I mean, I would say that's the benchmark too. So, it feels really light, but it's really well designed. Um, but I think the taper being too dramatic doesn't. It's not a big issue. I think a lot of companies would rather over taper than under taper. I think that'd be if they were to go, like in the future. I think they're like Omega's taking a drastic step. Like they never taper their bracelets. Now this feels like some people feel like this is a over taper.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
next thing is I feel like the next step is in the Seamaster, right?
I mean, the Seamaster's long overdue, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's the next step in their bracelet game is the Seamaster tapering.
I think the Rolex Explorer taper is perfect because I really love the Omega taper, the Speedmaster taper. So 20 to 15, I think that's very similar. 19 to 14, it's a similar angle, I guess, gradient.
Well, my Explorer is 20 tapers to 16, and it is really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that'll be good. I still haven't handled one though. One of these days, once this new variant is over with.
And the Moser. You well felt them. You wore the Moser Green Dragon. The
Yeah,
Streamliner it has a really good taper too. I think it's like a 4 millimeter taper.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that 4 to 5 millimeter taper. It's really nice, even on leather straps and stuff like that. With leather straps, unless if it's a really sporty strap, I think a 4 millimeter taper is almost mandatory for me at least.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I really like the 20 to 16, 19 to 16, which is like 3 mil, but um, that's a good size for me. Colin mentioned he saw the Leonardo pen in the recent Seiko review. Review of Death. There's also a new Leonardo pen here. This is the Fuore.
What was it
Yeah.
called?
The Leonardo Fuore.
Yeah. You nailed it.
Yeah. That's
there's
just needed one
no
take. Yeah.
that's
It's
all it's
purple.
called. Yeah, it's purple.
Nice.
It's got like
Okay.
this really cool shimmer as you.
Is that like lacquered or like what's?
It's a resin.
That's a resin. Okay.
I think they're like handcrafted resin pens.
Is that so? I again, I'm not going into oil money might kill us.
Yeah,
Literally.
the real money.
But is that like most fountain pens are resin, right? The
Yes,
cover.
most are.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, some are plastic, like the super cheap ones. So
Is taper on a pen a thing?
it is a thing. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think they measure it. It's not on a spec sheet or anything, but how it tapers as it comes to like the front. You know how
Okay.
there's a step down. But anyway, let's keep going. It's good to see you, Peter. Hope you're doing well. Um, slab-sided bracelets. Do we have slab-sided bracelets?
Oh, I think I was talking about the white birch being.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There. I mean, that bracelet is so good. The white birch bracelet, like every little mini link, it's like you're holding an ice cube. It's so pleasant to hold. You know. I think Jenny mentioned that too. It's got like that soothing feeling. You just hold the bracelet. I don't know.
I honestly I don't like it as much as you. I guess I like the bracelet on my double SPG on 003 better than this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Yeah, I really like the feel of that bracelet. Yeah.
Well, not enough to keep it. Sorry,
Yeah.
but that was a low blow.
It's all right. No. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna skip Oil Money's comment. I mean, I don't think it's bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on. There you go. Colin says you can sell pens. Yeah. If you want to sell your primary manipulation, you gotta get a hold of me. That's really cool. Sanjay want to sell his pens, he'll trade them. uh, Peter asking if he joined the pen channel. Peter, you just missed the watch talk. You know, this is just I don't know. It's an evolving channel, you know. And we're like Bobby and I are kind of independent now. Bobby has his one pen.
What do you got against paper?
Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm gonna skip down here.
You know, Peter, I think in his comments was he joined because he saw the Patriots losing.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
he
feel sorry for him at all. Just letting him know.
did. Yeah.
It's a very rare feeling that he's having. So Wilson's on the chat here. He knows as a Detroit Lions fan how it feels. So keep going. That's just enough of sports there.
Yeah. I'm guessing the Patriots don't lose too often. No.
Not really.
Wilson saying my real name is Salvatore.
Salvatore.
Salvatore. Please stop. Oh, that's good. Hey, Eric's here. Good to see Eric. Who's tried the Galante Seikos? I have not. Have you guys seen those?
No.
What? No. Yeah.
Did
Can't
you
say.
get the G-Shock from Hodinkee?
Who, me?
Yeah, just
Oh
wondering. The
no, man,
John Mayer.
that thing's the ugliest thing I've seen in a long time. I'm sorry, Colin. I know you got
Oh
one.
gosh.
I thought the first one was ugly, but
Oh
man,
wow. Oh,
this one's.
so Sanjay did. Okay, all right. I think 5 of the people in the chat just bought one. So
Oh no, I'm sorry.
hey, it's an honest review.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
ugliest thing
Oh
you've
boy.
seen. Perfect. Which is the worst one? The white one or the first one?
No, the
Remember the
white
first
one's
one?
worse. The white one's worse.
The white one's worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought the gray one, right? The previous one was gray.
It was like blue and like it was a little more 80s theme, I guess. I felt
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember
Uh,
thinking that one wasn't so easy on the eyes.
Wow.
this one, oh man, I was like, oh, I'm blind. I'm blind.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Wow, he just burned. He just burned some bridges here. All right. Yeah, Colin out here,
Thumbs
Sanjay.
up, guys.
Colin was one of those 5. Sanjay, just FYI.
I know Chaz got one, right? Did Chaz get one?
Chaz
Yeah.
did not get one. I
No? Okay.
think. Oh, wait, no, wait. Chaz, did you get one? You can just say it on the. I know Dan got one. The whole group, Amin, everybody got one.
Yeah.
Bobby Legs. But hey,
Um,
if you don't feel like you vibe with the G Shock, it's okay.
I guess I'm not. I mean, I didn't grow up in that era. I didn't
But
have
no,
that.
you didn't like the design of the G Shock. Forget about the era.
Yeah,
If you don't
yeah,
like the design, it doesn't matter what era you grew up in.
yeah. I'm just gonna pull that thing up here. Hodinkee G-Shock.
John Mayer. Just write John
This
Mayer,
one.
and then it should be.
Okay, so that's the
That's
first one.
that's original. Yeah.
So that was what I was thinking when I said gray. Man, that's whew.
It's blue.
That's
like
not too bad.
You
that's
know.
not. Yeah, I wouldn't be mind that one.
It's my first time
Oh.
seeing it.
Oh, man. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. And let's check. Is there a recent one here? I'm gonna search John Mayer here. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I don't even have to. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. Oh, okay. It's not even like a clean white. It's like a dirty white. You know, like a.
It's a dirty schwa white.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a white.
Yeah, I would choose the first one personally.
Yeah, me too. I would go with the gray.
If I had to, if you had a gun at my head, I'd pick the gray. Oh man. Okay. So what I don't know if I missed you guys your thoughts about it, but did you guys like the I guess you just mentioned that you'd go with the gray, but
yeah, I didn't buy it.
I mean, I have no desire to buy one, but
yeah. That was a limited edition as well, right?
I think so. Yeah, it sold out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This week, I've been kind of off the radar when it comes to watch news, and even live streams. I've been struggling to.
I don't think there was much watches that were released, especially during the holidays. I don't think there was.
Yeah.
None of that was noteworthy, at least.
Except Sanjay's review of your Alpinist.
Yeah.
I stopped everything and watched it right away.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed it.
That's good.
Kevin says, "Good. I had the first one. Spared the wrath of Sanjay." Looks like an Apple IIe computer. I don't know what that means. Salvatore bringing the fire and controversy. Is that really controversial? I mean, that thing's hard on the eyes, man. I mean, I get it. Like it's like a dated watch, but come on, it's not pretty, right? You guys can't say that's pretty, can you? Come on, Colin. Can you say that's pretty?
Never seen Sanjay so brutal on the watch. Like I've heard, like he's usually very nice on watch designs. Something has triggered him with this watch design that he's like. I guess the white G-Shock, off-white G-Shocks is his kryptonite.
My Colin says you're dirty snow steak with this. except mine's a gray cloud Seiko, not a dirty snow. 80s white says Cowboy QG. Okay, so Neff says that's kind of bad. Totally agree. Will look like an old pair of Jordans in a few years. I mean, it looks like an old pair of Jordans now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh. Looks like more sneakers. Okay. Gotcha.
I don't.
She's actually changed her name to Federico.
Wow.
I don't know. The only reason I'm so blunt, I guess, is because, like, to me, it's so just
off-putting.
Yeah, it's so overtly ugly. So
Hmm.
so I feel like everyone should be thinking it's ugly too, and so I don't
Wow.
I don't
Wow.
have
Okay.
to
All right.
hold myself back, but I
Yeah.
guess I
No. If
should be
you
holding myself back.
I feel like, well, because if you're buying a G-Shock, you're not buying it for its elegance, right? Like,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but I mean, compare that to a G-Shock Square. G-Shock Squares all look good, I think. The other ones are questionable. Some look good, some look bad. Ah. Okay, so Peter thought it was ugly too. But I have no taste, he says. I think you have good taste, Peter. You have a great collection. Uh, 2001 Space Odyssey interior looking. Yeah, I could see that. Never watched it, but I'm thinking of like a 2001 Toyota Corolla as white, you know, and not a pretty white.
hmm.
uh, Colin says, I can't stay mad at you, Sanji. You have to be a G-Shock fanboy and had to grow up in the 80s to like it. Okay, see, there you go. Okay, it's not supposed to be pretty. My dad actually grew up in the 60s, not the 80s.
Yeah,
And
my
you're,
birth year is the first year G-Shock was released, 1983.
yeah?
Yeah.
Smartphone Laos as he rips your heart out.
smiling assassin.
Um, yeah, so Clayton loves the AT's keyboard inspiration. Okay, that makes sense. That's that's good. Like, it's a good description. Like those old keyboards with the mice with the roller balls in it. You know.
Or you could say worn sneakers too, as as an inspiration.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, well,
Wow,
I
you
was gonna
picked that one, eh?
that was the one I didn't proofread, but Kevin says keep digging. I'll I'll stop. I'll stop. Um, okay. Keyboard guitarists went extinct around the same time. What does that even mean? Oh, that's good. Um, all right. Uh, okay, so I was gonna kind of chat about our favorite watches from this year, but we've kind of hit 1 hour with all our pen chats. Maybe we'll save it for Christmas Day. I know most of you guys probably won't be on, so I'll probably come on solo for about 30 minutes if you guys want to tune in and hang out for a bit on Christmas Day. You don't have to. Um, but like I mentioned earlier in the stream, tomorrow Watch Soup is canceled. I've had like a crazy busy week and haven't had a chance to watch a single YouTube video for yeah, it's been wild. But I will definitely see you guys next week though. Torin, do you have anything you'd like to plug before we close for the night?
Well, yesterday I put out a review of one of the Canadian micro brands I really enjoy, which is the Whitby Watch Company. They have a new diver's chronograph. So if you're interested in checking it out, you can swing by the YouTube channel.
Cool, yeah. That sounds good. How about you, Bobby? You got some nice camera footage coming out?
No, not. I'm trying to take photos and like post on, but
Yeah, your Instagram's a lot better now.
yeah,
Oh,
thanks. I'm trying to
what are you saying?
play around with the you know the settings on the camera to
Yeah.
get it's easier to make it because it's a good camera. Like it's a user stupidity that's causing them. But as I learn, hopefully it gets better and better.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Bobby here is at Watch Medicine on Instagram. So if you guys want to check him out, please do so. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for a Christmas chat and Watch Soup, hopefully, if this week isn't as crazy as last week. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.
Happy holidays if we don't see you.
Yeah, have a good night.
Happy holidays.